Staff Sergeant John McGettrick. I manage the sexual assault child abuse section. As you're all aware, over the weekend we arrested 2 young offender females for human trafficking and various other offenses. We're seeking a third. It's something that's shocked us and the community, and we're actively investigating, and I'll take any questions you may have.
Can you just take us to the beginning? How did you bust this case wide open?
We had 3 individual reports, one received on May 19th, one on May 31st, and one on June 3rd. And the investigators did a great job of quickly linking them together, realizing, the common threads between them, and it kind of evolved from there.
Who reported it?
Where did you find out that there was teen perpetrators, that it was teenage girls that were involved in actually pimping out the victims?
And something I should have clarified, this is before the court, so I'm somewhat limited in what I can say with respect to the investigation, and also we're dealing with young persons. But just the investigation led us to the suspects. That's all I can say on that.
Where are we with social media and what's the role in social media? You were talking about that today in terms of bringing the victims or alleged victims to that.
Social media was a factor in the initial meetings that were arranged between the accused and the victims, and that's as far as I can go with that.
Where are we with identifying any potential Johns?
That is an active part of the investigation, but it's also in the very, very early stages. Our initial focus was the 3 accused, and the rest will evolve from there.
Why are you able to rule out that there is no other level of involvement by adults or anyone else? What leads you to believe that they acted on their own?
We don't have any evidence to the contrary at this point. That doesn't mean that won't become the case, but what I can tell you right now is we don't have any information in that regard.
Do you have an idea as to motive? Were they looking for money? Were they looking just for power? Were they bullying these girls?
Can't comment on their motives, but perhaps all 3 of those and multiple others could be factors.
Do they know the victims? Do they know the victims, or did they meet through social media?
Met through social media, might have been distantly known to them.
Can you tell us about the victims? How many of them are there? How old are they? And did their parents report them missing? Or how long were they gone?
Again, I mean, we have to be very careful anything we discuss with the victims for 2 reasons. It's before the courts and re-victimizing. I can say the 3 victims, the youngest 13, the oldest 17. And that's as far as I can go with that.
Did their parents report them missing, though? Can you just...
13, 17. There's a 3rd victim. What is the age of the 3rd victim?
All we're releasing is they're 13 to 17.
Just answer the rest of that question. Did their parents report them missing? How did the parents learn of their absence, and how long were they gone?
I'm not commenting with respect to who reported the incidents, because that is evidentiary. We didn't have any specific missing reports on any of the 3 victims. I can say that.
But there were forcible confinement charges, so like how long were they forcibly confined?
Again, that's evidentiary, but forcible confinement can be 10 minutes to a year. It depends on the nature of the offense.
Have any other potential victims come forward or called or anything today?
Not at this time, but that is one of the purposes of our media messaging. If there is anyone else who's had a similar experience, to please call us and we'll work with them.
A message to parents?
I think the message to parents, and I've been repeating it for 2 days now, I think it's critical that we all know who our kids hang out with, or we should know, but do we know who their electronic contacts or friends are? And I think that is a real safety messaging in here. Know who your kids are talking to online. And if they are going to meet someone you're not familiar with, ask them, how did you meet them? Did you meet them online? What did they say? And if I'm a parent, I'm going to have access to my kid's account, and I'm going to read them. And if they don't like it, that's unfortunate.
Can you put this in some perspective? You mentioned, I've heard you quoted that you talked to your RCMP counterparts. They had never heard of a case like this in Canada. Can you, for a national audience, how unprecedented is this?
I haven't specifically spoken with the RCMP. Our investigator, one of them, liaised with them. And when they did a quick cursory check of, human trafficking to date and their information, they did not have anything specifically of this nature that has ever happened before.
Are you working with police in Montreal to find this 3rd suspect?
Pardon me?
How are you working with police in Montreal to find this 3rd suspect?
We are not working with police in Montreal at this point in time.
Do you believe she's in Ottawa still, the suspect?
We're not sure exactly where she is. All I can say is we are actively seeking her.
How shocking you know her face?
Sorry?
How shocking is this case to the police?
It's very shocking. I mean, our folks deal with disturbing investigations every day, but this one is shocking. The age of the victims and the age of the accused. It's terrible.